What started out as a spontaneous comment on Instagram is now a full-blown series. Welcome to ASTROHUNKS, the series in which I read celebrity male charts for your viewing pleasure. I'm Lexi, your local light worker. I'm really happy to be creating this series. We co-created this on Instagram based on your lovely comments and your lovely input in a weekend. So I am going to be looking today at the birth chart of one of our favorite hunks, Henry Cavill. You guys know him from movies such as Superman or the most recently super successful, highly entertaining series on Netflix, The Witcher. Here's his chart. Hey everyone, so I was just having this really interesting conversation with Swara about how she intuitively feels that Henry Cavill could be a little bit Capricornian or Scorpion. In reality, he's actually a sun in Taurus, but I wanted to interpret the birth chart because a lot of you started DMing me about him. He's really scrumptious, he's a blessing to look at, but he's also a really interesting case because this guy is much more comfortable with his masculinity than he is with femininity and pleasure and women in general. So I think that's why he kept being a bachelor for such a long time, because love and pleasure, although he's made for it, come very difficult for him in this lifetime. So fascinating. So let me show you some of the pointers that made me think in this way about interpreting his birth chart. So the most interesting aspect that he has is the fact that he has Saturn in Scorpio at a first degree, so 0 degrees, in his 8th house. And that planet is conjunct Pluto in Libra in the 8th house. Having Saturn in the 8th house is like he has to work hard at establishing intimacy and especially at trusting a partner. It's so difficult for him to trust and to share his finances with another person. And Pluto in Libra is also about the upheaval of personal relationships, having to negotiate and work very hard at establishing a healthy give and take with a lover. So that is his life's karma on this path. And after the age of 35, he would have more success with that. Now, the second interesting marker is the fact that he is a sun in Taurus, conjunct Mars in Taurus, conjunct Mercury in Taurus. So he's very masculine, very virile, very comfortable in his own body. But all of these planets are opposing his powerful Saturn and Scorpio in the 8th. So his lifetime will be this thing about being desired by a lot of people because he's like a quintessential masculine figure. Not only is he a Taurus sun, the most virile kind of presence out there, but he also has Mars, which is like giving him an Aries charisma to his body and his personality. But he has to struggle to establish intimacy, to be sexually at his best in a personal relationship, and to trust a partner. So it's really, really fascinating and complex, the energy that we see there. The third fascinating marker is the fact that he needs to let go of being wild and independent, and he needs to get more into negotiating, talking about his feelings, talking about what he wants to do in a relationship. And why do I say that? He is a South Node in Sagittarius, conjunct the stellium of planets, Uranus being there as well. And these planets are opposing his Venus conjunct North Node in Gemini. So Gemini is about the sign of the lovers, union, right? But it's a mental way of approaching a relationship. It's about let's establish a mutual equal give and take. And he needs to learn to put his feelings into words in order to establish trust and deep intimacy with a person. So that is his life's work, to become a lover, to become very good at love, to gather money and to start pleasing his partner, and, to have contact with women in general. And last but not least, the final super interesting part of his chart is his moon conjunct the ascendant. When you have a moon on the ascendant, your emotions are not very visible to you. You might be feeling them, but you're not very aware of your feelings. But hey, lo and behold, other people see them so well because the first house is opposite the 7th house, which is the house of love, the house of partnerships, but also the house of our shadow self. So he learns a lot about his feelings by relating with other people. And I don't think he's very aware of them. And this is so interesting because he projects his feelings onto the screen, right? Neptune, the world of movies. So it's such a fascinating birth chart to have a look at, and how so many women want him, but actually inside, he's struggling a little bit with maintaining this deep intimacy and finding a partner that could really root him and settle him down. So you guys are absolutely amazing. Sonali just pointed another aspect of this whole Henry Cavill saga. He is having a moment right now. That's why all of a sudden women are waking up thinking, oh, I should check up on Henry Cavill. We should talk about him. We should watch his movies. We should like drool over his images. This is because at the moment, Saturn and Jupiter are conjuncting his moon and ascendant in Aquarius. So it's like an awakening all of a sudden. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of this transit, he will come out as saying that he's marrying somebody or he's finally committing to someone, because Saturn on your moon, I've been having this since birth, guys. It's drilling you into being responsible and committed in terms of love and who you share your feelings with. And also Jupiter is going to expand him this year, so he might get somebody pregnant. So again, this is why our energies are being pulled so much onto him, because Jupiter and Saturn are sucking the void out and pulling all this energy his way. So another interesting aspect, and something I forgot to actually mention on the Instagram videos, is the fact that one of the shadow self with so much South Node in Sagittarius, Sun conjunct Mars, so a lot of fiery energy in his chart, is the fact that he can sometimes come across as very arrogant, as a know-it-all, right? That is the shadow self of Sagittarius, and anger and arrogance is the shadow self of Aries in general. So I think that he is really learning in this lifetime how to cooperate with people, how to focus on the little things, how to interact with people in his local community. No wonder that at one point he was actually shown on Twitter repairing a computer. Yeah. Gemini is also the energy of air, right? Flexible air. It is actually focused on technological gadgets. Astrologically speaking, that is his karmic path in this lifetime. He's learning how to love. He's learning how to focus on technology, on the little things rather than the big things, and working together with women. One final thing, ladies, sorry I couldn't help myself. I know we all fantasize about celebrities, right? So if you want to fantasize about him, how he is as a person inwardly, he's very hot and feisty, and he wants control in the bedroom. You do not fuck with a Saturn conjunct Pluto in the 8th house. He's the one in charge at all times. This guy could also really be into BDSM, but it's a secret. It's all hush hush. So it's like really interesting sexcapades, really interesting sex toys, sex scenarios, but they're all kept very hidden and very secret. He could even pay people to keep his secrets, okay? So if you want to fantasize about him, that's what our Superman is into. Guys, love you so much. Let me know if you want me to interpret more celebrity birth charts, okay? I'm up for doing whoever has stolen your heart, okay? Bye.